Tell us why the pond is dangerous when it's completely covered with snow.
If you've had any experience with livestock and frozen ponds, ponds are just a death trap when they're froze over, because the cattle or horses are better equipped because they can paw through ice that's not very thick. And also horses will eat snow where cattle won't. But ponds are just a death trap. If they're frozen enough that a cow can get out on it, they'll slip and fall, and then I don't care if they're big and fat or anything else, they cannot get up because they can't get any traction with their hooves. And if they get down on the ice, their body heat will melt the ice and they'll fall through. Or if 2 or 3 of them get to the same place and there's a little bit of water and they can be sipping and drinking, then the rest of the cattle are going to get around that, and then one of them will get butted over or slip and fall. They're just a death trap in the wintertime. And if you chop places so they can drink, well, then they'll crowd up around it and one of them will slip and fall. I have had experience in the past with ponds that are not real deep that they will just freeze solid all the way to the ground. And that's not good either, because they'll be walking out on it. And they're especially dangerous when it's covered with snow, because even the animals can't tell where the pond actually starts, so they'll be walking on the snow and walk out there, and it's easy for them to slip and fall. And if there's 2 or 3 of them, one of them will bump into the other one to knock them down. But ponds are just something to be dreaded in the wintertime and I have chopped ice. Usually try to chop the ice in a place where it's as level as possible. And in the past, I've chopped ice to where the ice would be so thick that they'd almost have to get down on their knees to get their head down to the water when you chop to it. But if you have running water or access to a creek or spring or where you can water them in a tank, be grateful for that. Just be glad you've got it, because as you can see right here, you can't tell where the snow begins on, or where the ice begins under the snow, and it's just a bad situation.
And that's a very good example right there where you're about to go, where I moved the snow off the pond.
Well, see, right out there, one of them will see that little shallow, and they'll get there, and then the others will be pushing and shoving around here. That's what I'm talking about.
And with just your weight, you're already pushing through. I can imagine a cow that is 3 times, 4 times, 5 times your size, how dangerous it would be. You can get out of it, but they can't.